Mr. Chairman, before I ask my questions, since it has not yet been done, I think it's important to really make sure that the jingoistic, bigoted testimony of Mr. Homan is called out as nearly completely untrue, as being an outrage, and as a former official directing the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, he should know better.
Mr.
Making
Chairman,
sure that I am...
Mr. Chairman.
No, this is my 5 minutes.
Well, what did I say was inaccurate?
Excuse me.
Okay,
I'm not asking a question.
Okay, the gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes. She's made her point.
Welcome. Tonight, we dive into a moment that exposed the raw emotion and division over America's border crisis. The border debate splits families, communities, and Congress itself. At a recent House committee hearing, months of tension erupted. Lawmakers gathered to discuss the southern border crisis, complex, urgent, and deeply polarizing. The hearing quickly shifted from fact-finding to political theater. On one side, a passionate House Democrat, armed with pointed questions. On the other, Thomas Homan, former acting director of ICE, a lightning rod in the immigration debate. The atmosphere was electric, the stakes personal. This wasn't just about policy. It was about clashing visions for America's future. What followed was a fiery exchange that went viral, symbolizing the nation's deep divide. It wasn't just a news story, it was a mirror reflecting our own divisions. Let's break down what happened.
Try to resolve any other issues at the end of her questioning. Okay.
Thank you. So I just think it's important that it's not accepted as accurate testimony.
Okay. Mr. Homan, is there a crisis on the border?
Of course.
And has there been a crisis there for a long time?
Yes.
I just want to get, because your testimony was at the broader issue, and this is critically important, but we also have a broader issue there. We got unbelievable numbers we've seen on the border with apprehensions and everything else, right?
Absolutely. If I can respond to the earlier remark from Wasserman Schultz, I forgot more about this issue than you ever know. So if you say my testimony is inaccurate, it's wrong. Everything I said here is accurate. Bottom line, if you want to go toe-to-toe, I'm here. I'm here in my own time to speak to the American people about what's false
I'm
and
sure
what's
happy
fact.
to go toe-to-toe with you, Mr. Homan.
Well,
happy
I'm
to do
here.
that any day.
But you got to let me respond to your question rather than dropping a bomb and running away.
The confrontation began as the House Democrat took the floor, not to inquire, but to indict. They accused Homan of spreading fear and misinformation, fueling a toxic debate. The lawmaker argued Holman's rhetoric made real solutions impossible, painting him as a mouthpiece for hardline anti-immigrant ideology. They challenged his motives, not just his facts, calling his testimony a political agenda that inflicted cruelty on asylum seekers. The Democrats cited statistics and countered Holman's claims, highlighting root causes of migration and America's legal obligations. Each point was a direct attack on Holman's credibility and character. The lawmaker essentially put Homan on trial, accusing him of architecting inhumane, ineffective policies. By framing him as a purveyor of disinformation, they aimed to disqualify his perspective. This was more than policy disagreement. It was a public, aggressive attempt to seize the narrative. The room bristled with tension as the Democrat finished. Homan was now on the defensive. Homan didn't back down. He leaned in, defending his decades of frontline experience as a police officer, border patrol agent, and ICE director. He reminded the committee he enforced the laws they passed, facing the crisis firsthand. "I've forgotten more about this issue than you'll ever know," he declared, challenging the lawmaker's authority. Homan stood by his testimony, insisting he spoke hard truths others ignored. He accused critics of downplaying the border crisis and ignoring dangers faced by law enforcement and migrants. To Homan, strong enforcement wasn't cruelty, it was necessary deterrence. He rejected claims of jingoism, framing himself as a public servant upholding the law. Every accusation was met with defiance. The exchange became a battle of worldviews, each side certain of their own righteousness. The hearing room crackled with intensity. Neither side gave an inch. This clash was more than a viral moment, it was a snapshot of America's fractured immigration debate. The Democrat and Homan embodied two Americas, one focused on compassion and due process, the other on security and law. One side sees strict enforcement as cruel, the other sees it as essential. The language itself, asylum seeker versus illegal alien, shows how divided we are. With no shared facts or common ground, compromise seems impossible. The hearing echoed debates happening in homes and town halls nationwide. As the nation wrestles with these questions, it's vital to listen, even when it's uncomfortable. Watch the exchange. Consider both arguments, compassion versus enforcement. The questions raised aren't going away. The border debate is America's debate. What do you think? The conversation continues. Thanks for watching.